you doing? He's splitting.
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I've got a quick video. Going to be talking about two different things here. We're going to be talking about the Modfans Ruller and the Fans Toys Thomas stand and train track. And we're going to be discussing that, just kind of why this is sold as just train track. But this is a blue version of the Ruller. We've already looked at the silver one, and we got a green one on the way. We're going to look at all three of them. I'm going to just do a quick video discussing this, comparing and contrasting with the other one, and of course comparing it to the original G1 Roller. But I did get both of these. It shows you. I'm going to have a link down below where you can get both of these. So let's get in and take a look at both Ruller and the track coming up. Alright, so here's how the Fans Toys train track is packaged. It comes in this long box. Now, I don't know if it comes from Fans Toys like this, and then shows he puts it in there, if it just comes from Fans Toys in plastic, but it just comes to you in this plastic bit here, and a whole bunch of bubble wrap and a long box. And so, looking at it, it looks exactly the same, and so there's just no difference. Sure, they just did it like this, and I'll tell you why, because they wanted to be able to offer the Thomas at a lower price point, and so they can offer the Thomas at a lower price point, and if you don't want the stand, which a lot of people don't even care about the stand, then you don't have to pay for it, but if you want it, then you can buy it separate for like 21 bucks. So this also, you can get extra stands for whatever reason if you want an extra stand, but here it is, feels exactly the same as the original, and since it's brand new, it's nice and tight like you'd expect. And so flipping this up, and it looks good. So it looks good in both modes. You can flip it up, and where are these bar pieces here to open it up? Down here, and then that will tab in like so, so you can convert it, put your Thomas on it. It's not in the right mode for that, but yeah, it's the stand. It's fine. I just wanted to see if there was anything different about it, which obviously there's not, and it's going to be just fine as your stand for train tracks or for your airplane mode. And so I figured I'd take a look at that, show everybody what that's all about, and there you go, Thomas stand. Okay, so looking at this guy, I do want to point out several things. First of all, he comes with the exact same stuff, the exact same guns. Now, I think people have clarified they're welding tools. One of them's a welding tool, and then one's a gun, but something about welding tools, so that's kind of cool. I do want to clarify that it does feel like there's some die cast in the feet. Some die cast. You do want to open up these heel spurs on the bottom. Yeah, that's why I leave my nails long, and I did do a lot of vintage restoration this week, so I probably got paint all over my hands still that I've been trying to get off. Anyway, so he looks really good. I want to point out also that it looks like it's either paint or it's a very reflective type of plastic that's in there. But this one is a few dollars more expensive than the first go-around, so it quite possibly could be paint on it. It doesn't really feel painted, though. It does feel like it's just the plastic pearlescent. This does really look painted on the red right there. So it's, anyhow they achieved the look, it does look a little more premium in hand than in the pictures, and a little more premium than the silver one. And so I think that they really did kind of bet the farm that this one would be the most popular, even though in the cartoon Roller is silver. So the toy color is probably the one that most people associate with, the blue toy color. So looking at the face, though, he does look really good. Great looking paint on the face, and then I got a stripe right here, so you're going to see a much increased level of paint apps on this one, and it is a lot more colorful down to this, like the little yellow right there. When we get the other one out to compare, we will see the difference in it, and it does have that translucent piece right back here in the back. Looks nice and clean, looks really good. So great looking little figure. And so with that, it also comes with the hose. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the hose on this one. I probably will, though. Comes with the hose, with the instruction sheet and all that. No collector card. They're not going into all that. But for a $36 figure, this is really a cool figure for a masterpiece scale. And I could venture to say you could put this with your mainline stuff too, and price point wise, it's more like a little bit bigger than a deluxe scale, kind of in between deluxe and a Voyager scale for the mainline. But let's go ahead and get into some comparisons here. So I don't want to retread any real ground with the other video. I'm going to link the first review down below, but everything does feel pretty tight on him. And so kind of going through sort of some articulation limits right there. We do have, I don't think I covered the side-to-side on him in the last video. He does have this side-to-side. So that's a little bit more articulation going on right there. But yeah, pretty much all the same. But I want to just point out how tight the joints feel. Ratchet right there, and then toe tilt. So yeah, solid little figure for the $35 price point. Okay, so here he is next to the first release, which was the silver one, which was a great release. I just think this one looks more visually interesting because of the color breakup and a lot more going on with it. But I guess if you think about a roller, especially with the silver one, that it would be sort of monochromatic looking like the first one that came out. Now, looking at them, I guess you could almost say that it has the same level of paint apps to it, because we do have some different silver painted on here and different silver painted on the shoulder, and then you have the little silver on those down there. But the fact that this has more paint apps in different colors and there's more color breakup makes it look more visually interesting. So looking at the side, the one thing I don't want to do is have this to be the exact same review that we just did. So we won't really retread all the ground on this, but we will kind of show some of the features. Yes, you can still plug in this other welding torch piece to the back, and then you can connect the hose from here on the end of this to the end of this piece here, just like you have with the silver one, but you kind of get to see how interesting looking this blue and red one is. He does look really cool. So anyway, which one do I like more? It's kind of tough because the silver one looks cool in its own way, and this one looks cool in its own way. And we'll be doing all this again when we get the green one. So, how does he scale with your Hasbro stuff? And I gotta say that he is a little smaller than a Voyager, so a little bit bigger than a deluxe figure, and meshes really well with this Soundwave. This is a pretty good Soundwave they made, and I wonder if they're gonna just reissue this ever, or if they're gonna put out a different version. But anyway, that's how he scales with the Hasbro. Let's see how he looks with Masterpiece. He is smaller than a Carbot. So one of the things I thought he was going to like really measure up to Carbot size and scale when I first saw the pictures. And then of course we did the first review. We saw he was smaller than I expected, but still for $35 price point. And what he is a transforming roller that fits with everything. Looks pretty good. So there is scale, and more scale. That's how he looks. All right, so here he is in his alt mode, and pretty much what we expected. I want to point out that with all the different colors that he has, with like the white and the red and the blue, that he really is mostly blue in this, just like the original roller. And I'm impressed with that. Like, they had planned that out from the get-go of this. I actually think this one is the main one that they were planning, and they did the silver one first. Then they did this one as their main one. I think there'll be more of this color scheme available because this was the toy color and the one that most people would associate with. A lot of reasons I think this one is the one that they put most of their thought process into. But anyway, if you look at it, we got the white that carries over. This is just carry over from the knees into the sort of headlights, and then there are headlights, and these could be different lights on there. You do have the black of the seats, and then you have a little red shining through right there, and then you have the transparent piece. You have the wheels. It rolls. Wow, too well. Sorry. Get back here, roller. What are you doing rolling? You do have white as the exhaust. So the different colors, all the different colors do show through just a little bit in this, which give it a little bit of interesting look to it. We do have some silver, and you got the red on the wheels. I think the other one had red on the wheels too. Kind of that whole red line joke for if you're a Hot Wheels collector, red lines and all that. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I like the way it looks, and with that, we can get into gimmicks, and, well, there's not really much gimmicks, but accessories, and, well, it is gimmick. It is a gimmicky thing. The whole thing's a gimmick, right? All right, so when it comes to the accessory, you can plug in his welding torch / gun into the back here, into this hole. Then, if you want, you can plug in one of them into there. I don't think the other one exactly fits. Yeah, they both fit if you want to. Then you have less seating space for all of your human figures that, were not included. So no human figures were included. So we'll have to find a human figure that fits. Spoiler! I've got one that sort of fits. The seats here kind of adjust them up. So, yeah, that's the gimmicks that it really has. And then, of course, the hauling of the trailer gimmick, we're not going to get to that just yet, but we are going to do some fun comparisons now. I did get this guy in the seated position, which he doesn't really fit, and you can adjust the feet because their feet are adjustable to make him a little more comfortable in there. You can adjust that forward and back. But, yeah, forgot about this guy, and he's a pain in the butt. His joints pop off. This was a lot of work to get him into this mode, and he doesn't really fit, but it's the closest one. It's the one that came with the, what was that, the 2.0 version of Bumblebee? But yeah, there he is. I guess if you really wanted to, you could put your little figures in here like this too. So that's a thing. I wouldn't roll it very fast, but just for display, they could stand up in it. So for comparison, we're going to start out comparing with the MP44 because I have it handy and out of the box. I also have the MP10. So here it is. It is considerably larger than the MP44. So is the other one. And there's more good reason why, because it does transform. It is not as clean on the bottom, and we don't want it to be. We want it to be a transformer. And so there it is next to the MP44 one. The one I got at Toys R Us is the MP10. I'll be showing that one in a bit. But that's the G1. Yes, I had to go dig out a G1, an actual G1 one, a lighter blue. And I know they made these in darker blue too, so they made them in a darker blue closer to this. So I don't know. I don't know where all my rollers are. I swear I have more rollers somewhere. And I swear I've got one that's closer to this blue, not this super bright blue. But then again, I just might be remembering everything completely wrong because I'm finding that I might remember stuff wrong. I remember things in a different light or shade of blue. So anyway, that's next to the original. And so let's see the MP10 version. Okay, I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this without a glare. I don't have one out of the package. I sold that off to a buddy of mine. So there it is. This is considerably larger too. Really, the more I look at it, I really think that the MP... It can't be the exact same one they put with MP44, but so much looks exactly the same. That's different than the MP44. Anyway, so it's not the same one as MP44. It's a lot of similarities to the MP44 one, but there's size and scale difference. Here's how he scales next to Masterpiece, Magic Square, Optimus Prime, the 1.0, 2.0, but the first version. So that's a mouthful. Anyway, and then here he is next to DX9. Nope. Fans Toys. Ha! That's the Fans Toys Power Glide that just came out, which expands out really big so you can get an idea. This sort of dwarfs that, doesn't it? So lots of interesting, fun scale things this day and age. What's a roller without a trailer? I actually think it's still a cool figure, even if you don't have a trailer. It's not like it's the end of the world. But since we got a trailer, we might as well look at how he rolls into here like he's supposed to. Now, of course, with the toy, he would roll in backwards. But they made sure it fits just fine. No problems at all. And no problems rolling. Now, to put the trailer on, you need to take off this. And... good thing that I did not do a Mani-Pedi this past weekend by myself. The wife wouldn't have gone anyway, oddly enough. There opens up the slot to put this in. And there it goes. Okay, trying to get it on camera. Last time I did not get it on camera. This time I did. So... there we go, he rolls. I'm sure there's a place to slot this so you don't lose it when he's not hauling the trailer. And it does articulate, so there's all that fun stuff. So it's really a good roller for your MP44 or your MP10 trailer. Either way, because it does have the MP10 slots. So really cool figure. Alright, so there's my look at Ruller from Modfans and the train track for Thomas. And I'll have a link down below where you can get these. I got these at Show Z, but I really like this whole lower price point Masterpiece Edition. It's a risk, so it's a low risk for a company to make something at a low price point. If this thing was $100, they'd have trouble moving it probably, but it still probably would move at $100. It's a pretty cool looking figure and a pretty interesting idea overall. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I'll be back with the green one day. Like, subscribe, try to hear him hang out.
Nail it, Hound, before it nails us! Look out! That attitude exchanger's restored only 2 of his components.
Well, there won't be any more trouble, thanks to you. And especially to you, Bumblebee.
Especially to him. I was the one who saved the satellite and came up with the idea of firing those attitude exchangers.